Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hi.
Better Than Brunch.
I have a theme song. Better than brunch. How's that? No, maybe.
That had a real like hanging with Mr. Cooper vibe to it, like TGIF in the 90s.
Here for
Here
it.
for it.
Okay. All right.
How are you all?
How's it? Good.
Great.
How are you?
I'm well. I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm Cass Newbold.
I'm Taj McCoy.
Denise
I'm
Williams.
Charish Reed. Ah, damn it. I'm Charish Reed.
And I'm Denise Williams, she, her pronouns.
Yes.
What's on the docket today, guys?
So we thought we'd start out with a discussion that's near and dear to all of our hearts, which is kissing. And particularly, what makes a perfect kiss in a book?
Yeah.
There's so many good ways. What's your favorite?
For me,
Writing?
a
I
perfect
keep
kiss
stepping
with,
on your line. I'm sorry, go on.
for me, a perfect kiss is one where I know I can see sort of the vulnerability of it, like what somebody is feeling that's high stakes for them in that moment, that makes the kiss sort of more than just like lips and tongue. At the same time, I want to hear a little bit about the lips and tongue. Like if somebody just says they kissed and then gives me 4 pages of their inner monologue, I'm not reading that kiss anymore. And so it's that, ability as a reader to fall into their head and their body and have this sort of visceral connection to that feeling of losing yourself in a kiss.
I think that's really legit. I don't want to hear all of the feelings going on inside, but also, we gotta know what you're thinking when, his mouth crashes down on hers or what have you. I will say my favorite kiss theme that I've ever read was Tessa Dare's A Week to Be Wicked, and the heroine and the hero are in like an underwater cave, and he teaches her how to kiss, and it's really sweet. It's kind of smoldering, and it's kind of funny too. So I like a good mix of different tones that go on in a kiss. I like a funny kiss. We should be laughing more when we kiss, right? I don't know. Should we?
I like those moments when you're not, taking it too seriously. I also really love, folks who, when they're writing it, they get the other senses involved, and yes, you want to know a little bit about what's happening in the body, but just like the intoxication of the cologne, or like the way that a finger is grazing the skin, or whatever the case is, like those moments, like, so you can kind of picture it, you can kind of feel it yourself, you can kind of sense like all those different things and connect with it in a different way. I think that's a part of the great escape of romance, and just being able to kind of live vicariously, as the single gal in this group, I need to live vicariously a lot, so please keep writing those kisses.
I'm married, but there are very few underground sexy cave moments in my life, so still
Very few.
I don't think I've ever been to a cave.
like once a month at best.
In this environment?
I'm kidding.
These unprecedented times?
I like the kiss or the near kiss or the interrupted kiss, like when they're so close. even more so like on the screen, but in books, if it's written well, like where like you feel it, the tension building, and they're almost there, and then something happens,
Yeah.
and they haven't quite done. And then of course they do later, which makes it all that more amazing. But like that tension, and then like let down, it just a rush of emotion. And if it's done well, like it just, when their noses are so close to each other and their lips are almost there, and then no. So I don't
I
know.
totally forgot about that. That's actually a really good point. I wrote one of those in this manuscript that I'm working on, but I feel like I need to do more of those because they are delightful. Like noses nuzzling and like whispering words, and then I don't know, the phone rings or something.
Yeah.
So Cherish shared one of hers. What are like who are authors who you think do kisses really well? Allison Ashley's book Perfect Distraction came out in February, and she's a CP of mine, and I tell her all the time she's the queen of dirty kisses. Like there's very little sex or on-page sex in her books, but when I finish one of her kissing scenes, I feel like I just read something salacious. And so like really good at that mix of the physical and like pulling in all the senses that you were talking about, Taj, of I smell this and I hear this and I feel this and ooh, there's a thigh. And, those things that take that kiss sort of just from the action to the possibility of everything it could be. But yeah, I tell her all the time, queen of dirty kisses.
That's a skill to have.
Accurate.
I've been reading a lot of friend books recently, and so ironically the one that stands out from the most recent books that I read is actually yours, Denise.
Okay.
How to Fail at Flirting, and just
Tell us about it.
the intimacy between the two characters, and
they kiss a lot,
but there's also this like build up to it, and so when it finally happens, there's like these moments where you're just like, oh my god, yes, they're kissing again. But you do a really great job of bringing in all of the different senses and just kind of sweeping the reader away in those moments. And so it's really, really good. And you guys should pre-order now because it comes out in December.
Thank you.
It's true. It's very good kissing and other things.
Yeah, they do more than kissing.
Yes.
Wig.
It's like a different kind of dirty kissing.
Yeah. All of which I have are, a reaction, and I think our mascot can show off what that reaction is.
Wait, where's the surprised one?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, there's a surprise one?
There can be a surprised one.
I thought there was one that was like, ooh. Mascot is scandalized.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Cass, are there YA kisses that, while not dirty, but are, like really standout ones to you?
I have to say that I like the romance between Nina and Matthias in Lee Bardugo's Six of Crows books. They're nice. Trying to think of other like good. Twilight had good romantic tension between Bella and Edward with like the mist kind of, because like, oh, I can't mess with you because I'll crush you when I'm fucking you kind of thing like that. Vampire, right?
That's
like,
all it was tension.
I mean, which goes far beyond kissing. But like, just who else has Julie Murphy, the cute little kisses, and I love the way that like there's romance involved, but also that self-consciousness of like, oh my gosh, she's gonna touch my roll, and how's you know, like that tense moment. Because I think that no matter what size you are, when you don't have that familiarity, and even sometimes when you do with someone, you still have self-conscious moments like, ooh, gonna turn my body a little bit this way.
Oh, that's so real. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it
That's
makes it
true.
so real and like relatable. And I mean, I think that that's the one good thing about YA is that you'll find relatable, kissable moments in it because it brings back that rush of first loves and the excitement of that kind of attraction. So you won't get as like hot and heavy dirty kisses, and maybe sometimes you might to an extent, but I think that more so the coolness that you find in YA is just like that burst of like,
The
this isn't every,
trepidation.
yeah, and like all the feelings that go with that. So that's what I would have to say.
Now watch us all four
Oh.
like reflecting on our first kisses.
Yeah. I don't want to do that. Nah.
That's an episode. That's another episode.
I will say one unique kissing trope that happens in a series of books. Have any of you ever read the Ice Planet Barbarian series by Ruby Dixon? Okay, so it's, aliens on a frozen planet, fated mate resonating with your fated partner, and these aliens have never kissed, which they call mouth mating. and each story, it comes up as this alien unfamiliar with this human woman's mouth mating ways. And I don't know, she's written it like 30 times over, but it's still very delightful, new. She makes kissing new for this species of alien and super hot. So yeah, I don't know what that is. I really like it. The mouth mating of Ice Planet Barbarian series is something to look out for.
I love
That's
that.
my recommendation.
Mouth mating. Come here and give me a mouth mating.
There's a language barrier, of course.
It happens. It
so yeah.
happens. So I guess that's our take on perfect book kisses.
Hmm.
I think we did that well.
It makes
What
me want to
else?
go write one. I have like 3 different books in my head right now that need
Yeah.
synopses and plotting, but maybe I'll just go write the kiss scenes instead because that's a good plan.
Yeah, I want to work on more interrupted kisses that Cass brought up.
That's good.
Do it.
Everybody go write an interrupted kiss scene. That's
Okay,
what
when
we're
we
on.
finish up here, we'll go into writing and sharing.
Yes.
Yeah. But
You two
go
are
ahead.
hilarious.
We're just so in sync. We want to talk at the same time. Well, I was going to transition because normally Charish at this time tells us who her beef is with, whether it's a spider or a Hans Zimmer or a professor. But this week she has ceded her time to Cass,
Ooh.
Yeah,
a special guest
Cass,
beef.
give us your beef.
I will, with the disclaimer that I do not believe in it at all. However, even though I don't believe in Mercury retrograde at all, I have to say that I am so grateful and thankful that today is the final day of it. Not that I believe in it,
Yep.
but if I did, I would be really, really excited that things are going to hopefully equal out emotionally, like within the next couple of days, because it's been a killer. Like, have any of your emotions been up and down without understanding why even more so, because I realize that there's a million other reasons why that can also be happening too right now, but like even more so.
We're gonna blame it on the retrograde, so don't worry about it. It's fine. No, I hated it. Noah and I both got colds like this week, which they came out of nowhere, and we were very frightened of the thought, like, okay, this is it, we've got it. But we're not dying. We're not seriously ill. And also, I didn't know where my book was going for the longest time, and I think it's because it's Mercury. Plain and simple.
It is. She's a bitch.
I think Mercury likes me. I can't really say a whole lot right now, but I'm it's been a good week.
Oh, well, fuck you. Misery loves company, Cause. Read the room.
Yeah, like it really has gone in the exact opposite direction from there's been no spiders. There's been, no weirdness. It's been all good.
Oh, that is
Yeah, I'm
good.
gonna side with the other two on this one.
Yeah. We are happy for you, Todd.
Yeah.
We are.
There always has to be an exception to the rule, and you are living it. Yay! Yay.
What went wrong in your week, Denise? It wasn't
think
a week. It was like at least 15 to 20 days.
Yeah.
It was half the month of March in July and June.
Oh shit! It was that long?
Because
so much of March?
Because March is the never-ending month. Like anything that happens bad this year, I'm gonna say is bad.
Oh, I was like confused. Nothing in particular was bad this week. It's just like, a combination of everything in the hellscape. A couple of the news stories about mothers in particular with young kids like threw me this week, and so that just sent me on another tangent, but no, nothing in particular.
Yeah, we've been dealing with this shit since essentially the pre-shadow started in June 2nd, and then it went into retrograde on the 18th of June. So we've been living it. We've been sitting in it for a while. And today is the final. And it decided to fuck with me even more today because I had an entire cup of coffee spill on me. And I'm like, I'm going to go grab coffee. It's going to be a nice treat. Going to go through the drive-through. Everything's going to be awesome. And dude was handing me the coffee in a cup.
No.
Because there's no contact kind of thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I grab it and it's a hot, like, and it went from the cup into my lap, and the steering console and the floor.
Oh no.
Oh.
Like with, I'd say all of to here spilled out of piping hot pike. and so I'm just sitting there and I look at the guy and I go, can I get some napkins? And bless his heart, he's like, I'm not allowed to touch those. I'm only allowed to give out the drinks. Let me get someone who can, because they have like a certain thing with.
Did he make you a new drink?
He did make me a new drink. And when the manager lady was walking by and saw what was going on, she said, just give her the napkins. And then she gave me like a wet cloth and like let me scrub it down. And I'm like, will you take this? And he goes, we're not allowed to touch things from people. And then the lady's like, take it from her, please. Because it was like a destroyed cup of coffee. They were so kind. They were so sweet. And I was crying and I had my mask on. And I don't think I was crying because my leg was burned. I think I was just crying because of the overwhelmingness of it all for a second. And he's like, are you in pain? I go, just my ego.
Oh no.
I've gone through the Starbucks drive-through a couple times and I've been impressed like with their system.
Me too. They're like on it, and they're so sweet.
Like
And
they're
like,
only touching certain things. Your cup goes in a mug, you grab it out of the mug.
yeah, like
That
Yeah.
whole thing.
like I feel as protected as you can be as far as the no contact kind of deal. And everyone has their own thing that they're doing, so they're not cross contaminating. And yeah, it's a lot better than one of the other places that I've tried to go to that doesn't even wear masks, even though it's mandated right now. And I'm like,
Oh God.
well, I'll pass you by. So
No, they're playing it fast and loose. I
mm,
would not go there.
yeah, which is a lot of
Um,
what our country needs to do right now.
well, has anybody reached out to any of you from your past? Because that's another thing that Mercury retrograde people complain about.
I had people reach out who I hadn't talked to in a long time in June, but that was more around the Black Lives Matter protests, which is a whole other episode, like people
Like-
reaching out to do that. But no, otherwise not.
Like unwanted people.
No, I haven't had
From
any
the past.
unwanted people. Like that first kiss didn't like come swing back into my DMs.
Well, that's good.
Charish, it sounds like maybe you did.
I did, and then I promptly blocked them from everything that every social media outlet that I have. So, didn't want it.
But speaking of things we do want, Taj, what are you cooking, eating?
So currently, my apartment smells like cinnamon and sugar. I am baking a cinnamon streusel sour cream coffee cake. And so that is in the oven, and it needs about 24 minutes, and then it will be amazing. So my apartment smells so good right now. It smells like a bakery. And then my brunch today, there are times when for breakfast I crave savory. And so to me, as long as it has an egg in it, it can be breakfast. And so I made ramen, and I do like with fresh noodles and like 6-minute eggs, and trying to make sure I don't actually spill it on my computer, but there's my cleavage also.
Hey.
Delicious all around.
Yeah.
Either I'll use like roast pork, or sometimes I'll use spam if I'm missing Hawaii, furikake, togarashi, and so just whatever I happen to have on me. I love the nori, and so since I don't have any on hand, I just have like some of the seaweed snacks, and so I'll put that into the brunch too, and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's my brunch today.
Looks so good.
The egg. I was gonna ask you, the egg cooking, is that soft boiled? How do you
technically
do that?
Yeah. So what I do, I let the water boil first, and then I really carefully, I'll use a spoon and I'll add in the eggs, and I time it so that I take it out right at 6 minutes, and I'll put it into some cold water so that it gets cool enough to handle. And then just very, very carefully, you remove the shell and you cut it in half, and it's still nice and soft and a little bit runny on the inside, but the white is fully cooked.
Nice. I need to learn how to do that, because that's like my favorite part of ramen, is that egg.
Yes. So I always end up doing 2 because I'm like, it's so good.
Yeah.
But
The pork. What kind of pork is it?
So normally I would use like a roast pork if I have some extra, or I've used pork belly before, but today I'm missing Hawaii because it's so beautiful outside, and so I used some spam.
Hey, okay.
Yeah. Hawaii is my happy place, and so anything that reminds me of it is something that makes me happy, and so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
Yeah. I wish you guys could smell my apartment, because it's
How long do you cook the broth for?
So what I do, there's a really great Asian market near me. And so if you go to the refrigerated food section, there's like packages of fresh noodles and things. And so there's actually packages of ramen with like a broth, like flavor packet that's liquid. And so I'll buy those, and it's nice. The noodles are super, super fresh. And then you have different flavor choices. So I bought shoyu, which is my favorite because it's really, really bold and flavorful. And then from there, so I don't really have to worry about making a broth, but you can. At the Asian market, there's also like really great soup kind of concentrates in the section where like soy sauce and everything are. So, but yeah, like this has made it really easy. So I usually keep like 4 or 5 packets on hand, just in the fridge, and they keep really well.
That's one of the things I miss the most about living in downtown Seattle. They had the best Asian markets. They had this huge super center called Wajmaya's, and you could find everything there. It was so good.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way that we get really, really spoiled in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And then I see your little friend back there.
Dog, not your husband.
Didn't mean that.
Your little friend.
Your little friend. I meant the dog. Who is our 5th member of our Better Than Brunch podcast.
He is. He has to Hey, Zed.
I think he went out the door.
I think he did. It was just a quick popping in, popping out.
Every once in a while, you can see like the little, like, and the dog has so much swag. So he just kind of comes over and the tail's wagging and just stands there waiting. And you just see the tail.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
He's probably embarrassed right now because I had to give him a haircut and I am not a dog groomer. And and so because he had all these little pobbles from running around in the woods that I could not brush out. And so it's it's interesting.
I think my dogs knew when I gave them a haircut and it was bad. Like they just sort of sensed it. I wouldn't say they lost any swagger, but they're about to get another one. So
their confidence kind of dips a little.
Yeah, usually he comes out of the groomer and his tail's moving and he's like, I look good, looking around at everybody, sort of like John Travolta when he's walking down the street. He's like, I got this. And like the other day I was taping him, he was on the couch and I'm like, Zed, look at me. And just his tail would wag and he refused to look at me. And I was like,
We were outside yesterday and my son's 4, so we have like a pool for him, but he doesn't want to get in it. Like he doesn't mind about getting wet. He just doesn't want to like get in it. So somebody bought him a splash pad years ago and we put that out and he loves it. Like we'll dive into it, slide into it, splash all over. It makes a ton of noise and it's terrifying. And our dog, who is scared of everything, found solace in sitting in the middle of the splash pad yesterday and letting him scream around her. And so I did get video. Like literally she's scared of grass and the floor and laundry and everything. But the 4-year-old screaming around here while sloshing water everywhere and imminent doom was, all good. So maybe I can put her out in that when I give her her haircut.
Maybe that'll work,
right?
2 dogs, yeah.
Do you have to cut both of them? Do they both have hair that needs trimming?
Yeah, they're the same breed and their hair gets pretty long. We always just cut them short anyway, so I can just buzz cut them. But it doesn't go great for the one with anxiety, so I got to drug her up first. The groomer seems to know how to do it well. I deeply miss paying somebody any amount they would charge to do that for me, but for now.
Taj,
that kind of stuff gives me anxiety.
Beverage be for what would pair the best with ramen?
I tend to like really light things when I have ramen. Ironically, I'm not doing that today because I have iced coffee. But I would probably do, if I had some yuzu juice, which is, really, really good with anything. It's really refreshing. I would probably use some of that and have some gin and maybe add a little bit of soda water. And that would be just like a super light, really refreshing drink.
That sounds like it costs $15 at a restaurant. It sounds really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan. Usually I have it, but with everything going on, I actually haven't gone to my Asian market in a while, and I'm like out of stock on a lot of stuff that I normally have in the house. So.
There's an Asian market in downtown Edinburgh, and I haven't been in a really long time. I haven't been downtown in a really long time in general, but I don't know. I feel like I probably need to get some food stuff there. I like my condiments. I like getting my my different sauces.
Yeah.
Just to have on hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to like make a list because a lot of times I'll go in there and just go crazy and try to buy everything.
Yeah. Well, you gotta kind of get in and out.
Yeah.
Do it supermarket sweep style.
Yeah, just run in.
Yeah.
Someone could film you to get like the whole experience.
But I'm kind of a klutz, so me running around, I would probably like slide and crash my cart into something and knock over a display.
Oh yeah, that's how you end up on a blooper reel.
It's a meet cute. No, but it could be a great way to meet a guy.
So I have totally written a grocery store meet cute. That's all that's written in the book. It's like 3 pages long.
There you go.
But
if it ever gets written, I love that meet cute.
Okay, awesome.
You.
In The Right Escape, written by Charish Reed, there was a grocery store meet cute that involved bumping of carts, if you'll remember.
It's so cute.
It was the first of like 3 meet cute. My friend told me, like, do you need this many? Do they need to be bumping into each other in different places? But yeah.
But I mean, not enough meet cutes involve frozen pizza. So like, it's just requisite.
I think so.
Judge
I thought so.
On toppings if you're going for frozen pizza.
What's that?
What?
I said if it was you and a meet cute, would you judge each other on toppings on what the other person had on their pizza?
I would feel comfortable and relieved that they had frozen pizza to begin with. But yeah, no, I don't think I would judge.
I don't know if I ever looked closely enough at the frozen pizza label to see like what type of frozen pizza it is. Like hopefully I'm too busy staring into their eyes or at their biceps or noticing the dimple on their face or something to notice like that they have pineapple on their pizza. Now, if that happened in person, that's a different thing.
The deal breaker for me, actually.
They'd have to smell real good for me to ignore pineapple on their pizza.
That's one thing I do not like. Pineapple and hot cheese make no sense to me.
No.
Separately, yeah.
And tomato sauce.
Yeah, it's just
No.
So we're all in agreement that pineapple pizza is for serial killers, right?
It's trash pizza.
Because my daughter's like favorite topping on it, so like maybe she'll be a serial killer one day. But
keep an eye on that.
I know.
See, I'm not gonna make the jump that pineapple is serial killer. I think it's just trash pizza.
Straight psychopath.
That's all she does. She does cheese and pineapple. Nothing else on it. Nothing. And I'm just like,
okay, well maybe I'm concerned about your daughter.
Everyone,
yeah.
She's the only one in the entire family that goes that way. She used to do the Canadian ham when she was still a meat eater. So it'd be like the true Hawaiian But
Right.
now it's just cheese and pineapple, and I'm like, okay, have fun with that.
There is
I
a
don't like
Blaze
it.
pizza near my office. I haven't been there in months, but it's like a brick oven and you pick your toppings and then they cook it for you right away. But they have this vegan chorizo topping, and I get that with ricotta and mozzarella and like a pesto sauce. And I just had like a little mini happy place thinking back on that. I'm not vegan or vegetarian. I don't know why I even like added the vegan chorizo, but it was, yeah, I love that place, and that pizza just like is magic.
That's awesome.
Have you guys ever had Impossible meats yet? Like,
So good.
have you tried those? They are.
They really are.
Tasty.
My agent, she made a on her Instagram, she showed that she did stuffed poblano peppers with Impossible meat, and she said that it was so tasty. So
Ooh.
time.
I mean, you can tell it's still not meat, but the texture is pretty good and the flavors are on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever Nico's home, I try to make family, plant-based friendly meals for her. Some of the time. I mean, we tend to eat, we probably do half and half, vegetarian and half meat throughout the week. So
Yeah.
I grew up, my mom's been vegetarian my whole life, and so I grew up with maybe us having meat once a week if we were lucky, and it was always a very well done, overly cooked steak because she's vegetarian. So she doesn't give a fuck about cooking steak to the correct temperature. And so my dad had never had, or nor I or my sister, a properly cooked piece of steak until I was in my 20s. That was the first time that I had ever tasted how steak should taste like. So yeah,
I came from a well done family. We were a well done people.
yeah. That's how I thought all meat should be, with no pink in the middle ever. Like, did not know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I think my mom was just a little.
And so my husband does most of the meat cooking. Neither of us eat eggs, and my child loves them, so I'll make him scrambled eggs. I have no idea how they taste. He's going to have one of those shocking moments in his 20s, like, what? This is they're supposed to taste like? Because I'm just like holding my nose and closing my eyes while I cook them for him.
Oh, wow.
Like, I don't do eggs at all. But yeah, same way. I'm like, I don't know how to cook meat. Like, I don't eat it. So if my husband doesn't do it, I'm like, well, it's probably good enough. I'll make sure it's like not dangerously uncooked. But
I think, yeah, my mom had a sense of, you got to make sure that it's safe and not really pay attention to like the texture or the taste or whatever. So we had a lot of over-seasoned rubbery steaks, and that's how I grew up. And then Noah made me like his steak, and I was like, whoa, kind of alive here, buddy. Still bleeding. This is cool. But yeah, I'm a convert now. I eat my steaks medium. I would say medium well.
I'm a medium girl, medium to medium rare.
Me too.
It's all right if it's a little bloody. I'm all right with it.
I'm not going to say that's what she said, but maybe
I mean,
where is this conversation going?
Another conversation for sure.
And grizzled. Da-da-da-da, Denise.
Oh.
Grizzled.
All right, what's my prompt?
Grizzled.
Make it eggs or steak.
Steak.
Maybe
Steakhouse owner.
Diner. Like there's a diner in DC called Steak and Eggs. And so maybe yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the one to write that romance.
Well, maybe they meet. Maybe they see each other as they're enjoying their meals across the room.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to write them enjoying that meal.
Oh my God.
True.
Meet cute. Meet cute. He's a butcher.
I I actually
Okay,
have a
yeah.
whole, I mentioned Allison earlier. We have a whole probably book that'll probably never get written about a butcher shop romance.
But a lady butcher.
Yes. Two competing butchers.
Ah,
Mm.
okay.
But
No,
again, that's probably not my romance to write because.
So maybe instead you write about two competing plant-based restaurateurs.
And then it could be meat.
One uses impossible and one uses beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
I'm not getting excitement.
No, not really. I don't cook. I don't know if you all picked up on that. Like my freezer is full of frozen chicken nuggets and
So how
pasta.
about grizzled story today will be a commercial pilot who has gotten tired of flying, so now they do private flights, and budding skydiver, and the grizzled pilot has to do something when the skydiving goes wrong.
Oh.
So a grizzled old commercial pilot forced to retire early after corporate issue is blamed on him. A mechanical issue is faulted to him. And in the wake of the scandal, he's forced to retire. We'll call him Joe Top Plane. And Joe Top Plane, no, Phil Top Plane, ends up flying for a skydiving service company. And he is sort of going through the motions. He has found himself in kind of a dark place, leaving his passion. He misses being able to go to all these different places, but he's doing this skydiving jam. And he is grizzled, so is grumpy with all his coworkers and the skydiving instructors, and terse with the guests. And the skydiving company owner has appointed talk with him, and they sort of come to blows, and then they come to blows. And so she has owned this company. It was her family, and her whole thing is making experiences for people. And then in the course of this sort of hate to love relationship, he learns to find joy in the work he's doing and finds ways to connect it to what he loved about his old job. And then in a twist, something happens. And then on top of that, he's able to take down the airline that done him dirty.
Yes.
With the skills Phil Top Plane learned from skydiving.
Okay. Okay, so can one of the ways that we thaw out Phil is when an elderly couple who've been married for like, I don't know, 60 years decides that they want to skydive together, and he sees like how loving they are and how they've made it work and they still want to have adventures together, and he's like, I guess I see now what she's trying to create.
And he's going to be his trademark terse with them. And the old woman is not going to have it, and she's going to shut that down. And he's going to be put in his place and then be like, oh. And then at a pivotal moment, it might be earlier, he's never gone skydiving, and he's going to do a tandem jump with the owner. And so they're strapped together, and it's this very like emotional experience. And I wrote skydiving actually into my second book. So I did a lot of research for that, but this feels fitting. And then she is like guiding him through it, and he has to have this moment of letting somebody else have control.
Can there be the kind of drama and tension that one skydiving movie with Wesley Snipes, what the fuck was that movie called? Do any of you guys know what I'm talking about? I feel so old right now. I'm gonna look.
Certain that I
What
saw
else?
it, but
What else was happening in it?
I don't know.
we just know that Wesley Snipes is jumping
Well,
out of
let's
a
just
plane.
It's called
plan that
it's
Wesley
called,
Snipes is the inspiration.
called Drop Zone. It was made in 94. It was a thriller. Gary Busey was in it, so you know there was a lot of crazy going on.
I don't remember that, but I'm writing it down because I will see it.
You have to. And I don't know why I remember it, but I remember maybe I remember it because it was an entire movie based on like skydiving life. I don't know. I'm afraid of heights, so I would never be a part of that community, but maybe I was
You know, as I think about it, I kind of am too, and I write these scenes into every book, like the
Yeah.
the,
Naya pressures Jake onto the Ferris wheel.
yeah, my hero in my first book is afraid of heights, and they do all these like height defying things, and then
I'm gonna check out
skydiving in my second book. So I have to see what I put in my third.
Yeah.
But I mean, it kind of
Huh.
sounds like this book has written itself, and we've got it all locked down. And then, of course, we'll end with the perfect kiss, which takes us back to the beginning of the episode.
yes.
And then
Yeah.
all of that. It'll be better
Oh my
than
God,
brunch.
your made up stories get me so excited. I'm just like I'm like following along. Yes. And
I
then
just
what?
need my real stories to have that same effect on people.
They do.
But yeah,
Oh.
we lost Taj, but
Just checking on the cake.
Oh, Taj, did you tell us what you're making? What you making now?
what?
The ramen and the cake.
Cake.
yeah.
Give us a little 411 on the cake.
It needs 5 more minutes and then it'll
5 more minutes. Ah.
yeah.
Out of all cakes that you make, what's your favorite cake to bake?
My favorite cake. I would probably say there's like I think I just posted it recently on Twitter, but my favorite cake would be the lemon blueberry bundt cake that I do.
Yeah.
But there's a really close second, which is an apricot lemon drizzle cake.
Ooh.
And that I don't make super often because I have to find like apricot puree to do it. And I've been lazy. But my
That sounds
favorite,
delicious.
yeah. But I also think I make a maple bourbon and pecan bread pudding.
Ooh,
That turns out pretty well each time. So
that sounds delicious. With a bit of ice cream on the side.
ice cream and with a little bit of a bourbon glaze.
That sounds
Oh.
amazing.
Fuck.
Amazing.
Now,
So not only has
with the egg aversion, like how does that work when it comes to like cakes and things? Does that bother you or?
I'm not allergic. I just don't like the taste, the smell.
Yeah.
Every couple of years I try again just to make sure. Nope, I'm good. So I think that's just who I am.
You're okay.
No, I'm not allergic or anything. It's just a.
So if it's deep in recipe, not in its natural state, then you don't notice it, or you don't.
Yeah, I don't mind.
and you also found a husband who has the same aversion to eggs?
I did. I wasn't looking for that, but
Was that your meat cute? You walked by the egg aisle?
no. I don't know when we learned that about each other, but I do remember before my son was born, my nephew was staying with us overnight, and I wanted to be the cool aunt, and my sister-in-law, my brother said he really likes scrambled eggs, so I watched like 7 YouTube videos, and then I practiced so I knew how to do it, and then I did it, and he didn't eat them, but it's okay. That was years ago. My son eats them now, so anyway, yeah, I'm not
God.
I like to cook. I'm not an adventurous cook. It's not where I find like my passion. So it hasn't hurt me too
Yeah.
much. But no, I don't do eggs. We're not an egg family.
We're getting
That romance novel would be called Must Hate Eggs, and I want to see the movie adaptation.
Yeah. Okay, let me work on that because that sounds good.
I like
Well,
Um,
friends.
Yeah.
Did we talk about because last week Cherish had, you know, beef with the resident who had taken a spot in the house. Did we talk about how that got resolved?
Mm.
I feel like
It's
we
murder.
addressed this.
Murder most foul is how it got resolved.
Haley the spider is no more.
For those of you who were not around last week, there was a spider in my home. Her name was Kaylee. She was in charge of killing insects that were plaguing the household. She didn't. I killed a fly directly after filming with you guys. I got it. And then a few days later, Kaylee jumped in my bed whilst I was reading your book, Denise. I don't know if that had any effect.
She had it
like,
coming.
There.
She had it coming. You know, she jumped. She felt froggy, and it didn't work out for her.
No. She fell somewhere on my body and then, like, skittered across my pillow, which, you know, I had a Kleenex a box of Kleenex next to the bed, and I used what weapons I had, and she ended up in a trash can, and I don't feel bad for her at all.
I love it.
That bitch did not know boundaries, and
No.
she had one job to do, and it was to stay the fuck up there.
One second.
Is it happening?
It's happening.
Has 5 minutes? Has 5 minutes passed?
I think so.
Does the house seem a lot lonelier without Kaylee? Like without having to look up feeling all the time?
I will say this. I saw a silverfish bug skitter across my desk before we started filming, but I do feel like it was another thing that Kaylee wouldn't have eaten anyway. So
He would have seen it and been like, "Hey, what's up?"
yeah, she was useless. I hate to speak ill of the dead, but Kaylee was a dumb bitch.
Well, all right then.
Waiting on Taj to show us her cake.
I'm gonna bring it over.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, then you can sing us out.
Also, have we seen the cake videos that have been going around
Oh,
Twitter?
I can't.
The what?
Everything is a cake.
People
the
like
cake
having cakes that are done in fondant and modeling chocolate that look like other things, and then they just cut into them.
Like,
yeah,
because there's streusel on the top, but
oh,
later,
streusel.
yeah,
looks good.
Later, I'll show a piece of it once it's cut.
Oh man!
Cinnamon swirl in the middle.
Ooh,
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
that looks delicious.
So not only has Mercury retrograde not affected Taj in any meaningful way, but she's also making delightful cakes that only she can enjoy.
I was thinking about doing some crinkle cookies too.
Some what cookies?
Crinkle cookies.
You better watch out, or you're gonna go the way of Kaylee.
Oh no. Oh no.
Cherish, she'll have you on her list.
I'm so angry at Taj for living her best quarantine life. while I am eating microwave noodles.
Well, do you want to
Well,
sing us
guys,
out, Cherish?
but better this brunch.
Just keep going.
We'll put like a synthesis. We're done.
So everybody smile for our regular photo. Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you all for tuning in with us. We hope that you've had as much fun watching as we did recording. We will bring you something next week. Not quite sure what. But if you have any suggestions, please let one of us know on our social media or on the Better Than Brunch Twitter website, which is BTB4pod, because that's a really easy one to remember. I am Cassin.
We have a website?
Well, I'm sorry, I meant Twitter. We don't have a website yet, but hopefully we'll get one day. But yeah, I'm Cassin Writes on Twitter.
I'm Taj McCoy Writes.
I'm Charish
Will
Reed.
Writes.
God damn it.
You knew it was going to happen.
I'm Charish Reed, and on Twitter I'm at author Charish.
And I'm Denise Williams on Twitter and Instagram at Nick Will Writes.
Fantastic. So yeah, just reach out to us. Tell us what you'd love for us to talk about. And it can be anything, be it writing, life, our views on the ozone, anything you want. Just let us know. See you next week.